Hey, welcome back to what I think is going to be the final part in this mini series. Now, check this out. I fixed the issue I was having, the little tips that were annoying me on the last part, and now it's nice and smooth hills and workable, right? Workable hills. They're still nice and square, right? Because we're using big tiles, but they're way nicer to work with. You don't have to jump all the time. This is pretty cool. I like this. Right. So, moving on. What did I do to fix that issue? I had this event, this action, the the size thing on the wrong event. So if I bring this down here and then I preview again, we're gonna have the same issue. Yeah, look at that. I have no idea why that is, why it turns out this way, but it should be doing the exact same thing. But I don't know. I don't really get the logic behind this, but the fix is just to put it there. There you go. So now everything becomes smooth again. Yeah, just like that. There's still a tippy thing there, but that's normal. This is a long hill without anything. Let's generate a different one. I mean, you gotta understand that right now it's very barren. The world. There's no trees, no anything of the sort. So it's always gonna look a bit, empty. We need to put some decorations on it. Um. Oh man, I forgot about the decorations. This might take another part, but let's leave that for the very last thing to do. Right now, let's work on our building capabilities because this is supposed to be like a 2D style Minecraft, right? Um, so how do we do the building? Let me think. We're gonna go like this. The the world generation part, this one's easy. We're gonna need to do something around here. But first of all, we're gonna go onto our project. We're gonna add a new object. Let's hit sprite. We're gonna call this one grid grid tile. And this is gonna be a very simple way of making a grid. We're gonna leave it completely empty, but we're gonna change the size to 64 by 64. Just like that. Hit save. And now we have an invisible 64 by 64 tile. Hit apply. And we are done. There you go. Grid tile. So now we're going to go to our world generation cave. This is going to be the easy part. And all we have to do is copy paste this one. And then change tile for grid. Oh, dearie me. Grid tile. There you go. Gonna add one more action, and it's gonna be hide. And you might be, but it's already invisible. Why do you want to hide it? Well, it's because I did some testing, and it turns out even invisible tiles take up rendering. But if you tell the engine to hide it, then you're telling it to not be rendered at all. So it saves up a lot of processing power and just makes your game so much smoother. Uh, so we generate the tile, the grid tile, and then we hide the grid tile. Now we're going to do the exact same thing for upwards. But upwards, we're not generating a square, right? We're generating this like these mountains. So we're going to have to generate a square just for this. So I'm going to copy paste the landscape, and I'm going to call it landscape. Why did I landscape grid, just to be sure of what it is I'm doing. Okay, so we can use this, but just like before, we're gonna have to alter these variables so they don't get in the way. So I don't know. Let's call it GXU for grid. Right. So we're gonna change. These are fine. What do we do here? Do I put a G at the start? Yeah, GX size. Whatever. You can name these something else that makes more sense, right? But right now I'm gonna roll with this. Uh, where is it? We don't need the noise. Yeah, we don't need the noise anymore. We just need to wait. The X is gonna be 50 and the Y is gonna be 25. We don't need the noise anymore because we're just making blocks for this one, like invisible tiles. So GXU, GYU, and then the last one, GYU. Wait, did I did tell it to stop, right? The landscape? Or did I forget? No, I did make a limit. I was like, did I make a limit on the landscape? Or is it just going on forever? GYU, GXU, uh, wait, variable G size U, and G size XU. Then on this side, we're gonna create the grid tile. Change the scene variable GYU, subtract 1. This is fine. This can stay. Change the scene. No, we don't change this one. We delete this one. Don't need it anymore. And this one we're going to change for GYU. So it gets to 25 and then gets down to -1 again. And we're going to change the scene variable GXU and add 1. And change the scene variable GXU to -1. And GYU set to 1. All right. So this should work. And what am I missing? Am I missing anything? Did I do all the changes? Oh, no. Of course I forgot one, didn't I? We need to change these variables. And then the X. This already has a mod to the Y, right? Yeah, it does. Okay. I think this is all we need. And everything else should be fine. Okay. So now to test this, here's what we're going to do. We're going to create a block. Which one? Let's duplicate our rock. Duplicate the rock. And what are we going to call this one? Playstyle. Let's call it block. We haven't used block yet. So we're going to use block. Block is going to be a platform. Do I need to change anything on here? No, we don't. So now we just need to make the placing of the block. Let's grab one of these. Copy. Paste. Building. And now I'm going to call this one place blocks. Now I'm going to create an event underneath, Shift D, and cursor. Where is it? Not focused. If the cursor or touch is on an object, the object is going to be grid tile. And now, scratch me face. Let's make it if mouse release. Mouse release. Let's not be babies. Let me show you how to do this properly. Mouse pressed. When mouse button is pressed or touch is held. Is this one? I think it is. Choose mouse button. Right. So when the right is pressed and the scene boolean, this is how you do it. To use the same key, when it's being pressed and all that jazz. Mouse left. No, mouse right. Mouse right pressed. What a mouthful of a variable. Is false. Okay. So we have these three. Then the first thing we're going to do is scene boolean mouse right pressed. And we're going to change it to true. And okay. Now we're going to create a new event. We're going to copy paste our boolean. And now we're going to say, hey, if this boolean is true, and we're going to copy paste our, oh, for crying out loud. Oh, there we go. Copy paste this one. We're going to put it there. And if the touch or right mouse isn't being pressed, we're going to invert the condition. Then we're going to set this to false. And this way, you can press a key and it's going to do what you want it to do and not shoot a million times, right? And when you get let go, then it gets reset. Now, we're going to create object. And the object we're going to create is our block at the position of grid tile X. And I think I already messed something up. Paste grid tile. Yeah, I pressed my caps lock by mistake. There we go. Grid tile Y. And okay. So what have we done with all of this stuff? Wait, I forgot to the grid. I forgot to hide the grid. Hide. hide grid, hide grid tile. And okay. I lost track of what it is I was doing. Is it this one? Yes, landscape grid. There we go. So we create the grid and then we hide it instantly. That way we don't kill our processor. Yeah. So what the heck did we just do? So what we did is when the world is being generated. Oops. There we go. As we're generating the world, we're also making an invisible grid that goes right on top of our world, right? So we have these 4 blocks here. Behind these 4 blocks, there's a block that's, part of the grid. Now check this out. When I right click on an empty space, we're going to create a block. Or maybe not. Did I screw up somewhere? Oops. Why is this not working? Oh, there we go. So this one works. Why is this? Why are these ones not working? Okay. So there's something with generating our grid upwards. What did I do? Oh, this is it. No, no. Where did I mess up? If the x is greater than 0, which is 1, and the y is minus 1. So the y is less than 0. Okay, so this part's fine. Now we create the grid tile at the position of origin x plus yada yada yada. It's the g, and that one's also g. So these ones are good. Then we hide, then we change the scene variable, GYU is in, we subtract 1, meaning we make it go up. And when the scene variable, the y is less than the y variable. Okay, so far so good. Then we set that to -1 again, which again makes sense. And the x, we add 1. Again, everything makes sense. And if dx is greater than g size xu, then put that to -1. Okay, where the heck did I go wrong? It's probably staring me in the face and I'm not seeing it. I put the g everywhere. Oh man. I hate when this happens. Why is this not working? I don't get it. This should be working. Let's try it again. Right. So this is not working there, but here it is. So it's our upstairs grid that's not working. Why is this grid not being generated? Dude, I'm making a video. Please cooperate with me. Why is this not working? GXU set to 1. That one's -1. G size X. G size U set to 25. Oh, it's this. Because it's -25. I'm a genius. I figured it out. There you go. I told you it was staring me right in the face. There we go. Now it's working. Right. So, why make a grid? Why do all that? Because without the grid, it'd look janky. When you're playing in Minecraft and all that, I think Terraria as well, when you're placing something, it asks you where you want to place it, right? And it's always like very precise blocks, right? And this is the same thing. So, for example, if I click here, do you see how perfect that is? If I try to click in the middle, like there, it doesn't create a block from that point of origin. If I click just there on the side, then see, it's always making the blocks perfectly aligned. Just like that. See? And this is how usually, Microsoft, I mean, they own Minecraft, I think. But anyways, this is how Minecraft works, right? How these building games work. So this way, it's always neatly packed, right? It's always on the grid. How cool is that? Uh, Now we need to make this better. So we don't want our player to just make blocks a million miles away, right? So to fix this, we're going to go to our place blocks. And if our key is pressed, then we're going to make a sub event. And we're going to check for distance between two objects. Distance between two objects. Here we go. And the objects are going to be player and the object 2 is going to be grid. Grid tile. And the distance, let's say, so it's 64. Let's say 200 pixel distance. Oh yeah, I forgot the creating the actual thing. So it's gonna check if the player is within 200 pixels of the grid, and then if he is, then he's gonna create the block. Let's see if that works. So I know there's a grid there. I'm clicking. Oh, there we go. So there's one there, there, and I'm clicking now and nothing's happening. But if I click here, they show up because it's at 300 pixels from my character. But if I click all the way here, nothing happens. If I click there, nothing happens. If I click down, those don't happen. It's going to start happening here because that's the distance. So there you go. 300 pixels around our character. That's how far we can place our blocks. Now let's do the opposite. Let's break the blocks. To do so, let us copy paste. And before we do any of that, let's go to our project. You can't see it because of the webcam, sorry. But we're gonna make a new object group. At the bottom right of the screen, there's a big blue button that says add new group. We're gonna click it, and this thing's gonna show up, the scene groups. And we're gonna call this one tiles. We're gonna double click tiles, and we're gonna put all of our tiles here. So dirt, light dirt, even though we don't really have any. Rock, diamond. The background we don't want to break, and block. Oh yeah, and grass. There you go, grass. Anything else? Grid tiles, no. this other stuff. Okay, so these are our blocks. And now we're going to press apply. We're going to go back to our events. And here, the cursor touch is on. We're going to change the grid tiles for tiles, our group. So if the cursor is on tile and let's say the left button, oh dear. The left button is being pressed, and we're going to change the boolean. If mouse, you know what? Let's just change it to mouse pressed. And we're going to use the same boolean for all of them. So we're going to change this one to also say mouse pressed. So mouse pressed, mouse pressed. Let's change this one as well. Mouse pressed. And lastly, but not least, where is it? There we go. If that one isn't being pressed and this one says true, then we're going to change the variable mouse pressed to false. Cool beans. Okay, so now if the left button is being pressed and the boolean is false and we're in collision with tiles, then we set the boolean to true, and then we open this, and if the player is within a distance of tiles, we're going to put our group here as well, is below 200 pixels. So let's say, yeah, sure. Then instead of create, we're going to get rid of the create, and we're going to change it for delete objects tiles. Just like that. And press OK. And that's it. That's the basic of construction. Right. So now we're adventuring, and we can place our blocks as long as they're within 300. I'm pressing, but nothing's happening. Why is that? How did I screw this up? Did I mistype? Mouse pressed. Mouse pressed. If the touch is down, if that one's false, distance to grid is below 200, then create the object. What seems to be the issue, officer? If left, if false, I mean, there's this one, but I don't think this would make a difference. Mouse press to true. Tiles. Delete tiles. Here we go. There's always something. There you go. It was the P. There was a P missing. Also, as long as I'm here, we need to copy paste this And we need to say that it's both the right and the left now at the same time. So if the right and the left are not being pressed, then we generate the thing. Right. There you go. It's working now. And we can delete it. Just like that. So now I can break blocks. I can just press, and if I click too far away, nothing happens. If I get closer and closer and closer, then yes, I can break these. I can come down here, and I'm like, okay, that's too far, so I'm going to make a little stair. Like that. Maybe like that. Right? Maybe I want to go to somewhere there, so I want to create. Right? You get it, right? So this is how the basics of construction will work. Now you can adapt this to do all sorts of things, but I already gave you basically the hardest part, which is setting up a grid and making sure that all this stuff like works properly. Right? Now you can do the rest. You can work out the rest of the logic. There you go. So this is pretty cool. We got the beginnings of a builder. Right. So next part, I thought it was going to be the last one, but this one's running long. Next part, I'm going to do the last thing, which is how to populate the landscape. We're going to put some trees and some grass or some flowers or whatever, right? And that's it. That's going to be the end of it. If there's anything else you'd like me to show you how to do, or how do you want to like incorporate onto this project, something you wish to learn, just let me know. Leave it in the comments, all that stuff, and I'll try to make it happen. Okay. So, anyways, till then, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. Leave a like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode, which is definitely going to be the last one. All right. Till then, peace out, guys.